All right, so this is a quick screencast on my Gauntlet 2 code. And if you look here at the beginning on start, I have a variable called count that I set to 0. And I set that right over here in my make a variable. Then that allows for the count to change throughout the traveling of the robot in order for it to turn different directions at different times. So you can see over here at the beginning, if count is equal to 0, then it will run this code. However, if count is equal to 1, it will run the code below it. I set the large motor brakes on, and the reason I did this is it makes the turning more accurate so that it stops right after a particular amount of degrees. And then I have the clear the large motor B counters as part of my code, and I did that so it will continue to move if the guillotine is not in the way. Then on my button enter pressed, which is the center button right here, I have where that will start the tank motors. So I'll show you how that works. Once I press it, it then runs both of the tank motors at 50%. The challenging part of the code was over here with the forever loop and my if-else statements. So from the logic, I picked out if something is true, then do this, and if something is not true, it shouldn't do it. So here we have this statement here: if the ultrasonic forward distance is greater than 15 and the count is equal to 0, then my robot needs to turn left for 90 degrees. After it does that, it needs to make my count go up by 1 and then run my tank motors straight ahead at 50%. Now that the ultrasonic sensor is less than 15, my count has been changed to 1 from the code up here, and because of that, it will stop all the motors if it encounters the wall, or we should say the guillotine in front of it. And it'll stop and wait for the distance to increase above 15 centimeters. Once it does, then it will resume the tank motors straight ahead at 50%, but it also increases my count once more, so that when it runs into less than 15 at the far wall, it will then turn to the left 90 degrees. And then the bottom part, it will go with tank motors 50% and finish out the entire course and then stop at the end.